Long, long ago, animals were not so different one from the other. They were different colors, shapes, and sizes, just as they are today. But they all lived together in friendship and in peace. The leopard was the king of the jungle, rich beyond telling, mighty in his power and wisdom. All the animals loved and respected their king. One day, King Leopard said to his daughter, "Who shall I name to rule after me when I die? I must see the cleverest beast in our jungle. I must find someone who's wise enough to rule well. Some day, my dear daughter, the two of you shall be queen and king." King Leopard was very pleased with his idea, and so he planned a great feast. All the animals came as guests. The king told them to make a huge circle. Stepping into its center, he called his daughter to his side. Then he spoke in a loud voice. "Listen, my friends. Some day when I'm gone, another king must rule the jungle. I will choose him now from among you, so that he will be ready. I shall choose the cleverest among you. He shall be a son to me and a husband to my daughter." Shouts came from where all the animals stood. No doubt each animal hoped that the good fortune would be his. Then the king leopard held up his spear and said, "Look at this, my people. Watch." He flung the spear far up into the air and said, "With this spear I will test you. He who will be our prince must roll the spear towards the sky. He must send it so high that he can count to 10 before it comes down back again." There was a buzz of talk among the animals. One after the other, they came forward to try their skill. "I will be the first," said the elephant, pushing all the animals out of the way. He was very big and his body was really heavy. "I can be king. I can do this thing," he said, and with his trunk, the great beast threw King Leopard's spear into the air. He started counting. 1, 2, 3. But before the elephant had said 4, the king's spear dropped to the earth. The elephant had failed. After the elephant came the chimpanzee. He jumped up and down, beating his hairy chest and singing of how much he would like to be the king. The chimpanzee rose up on his legs and held the spear in one hand, just like a man. "I will be king. I can do this thing," he said. With a twist of his long arm, he threw it up towards the sky, and he started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He counted as fast as he could. Surely with such a quick tongue he would make the count, all the animals thought. But he did not. Just as he said 8, the spear fell into his hand. Suddenly, the lion stepped majestically into the center of the circle. The lion always wanted to be the king anyway, and now was his chance to prove that he was the finest animal to rule the jungle. "I will be king. I can do this thing." The lion picked up the spear with his tail and threw it skyward. And he started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just as the lion said 9, the spear pierced the lion's feet. The lion was very angry. One by one all the animals tried to count to 10, but they all failed. The king sadly said, "It seems I must look somewhere else for a beast who's clever enough to rule the jungle."
"Let me try to throw your spear, O king,"
came a brave but weak voice from the crowd, and out stepped the skinny antelope.
"I would like to marry your beautiful daughter. I will be king. I can do this thing."
Ho ho ho, ha 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 ha. All the other animals broke into laughter. How could this skinny weak animal possibly throw the king's spear high enough to count to more than even 2 or 3? How could he even hope to succeed where all the other animals, even the lion, had failed?
"I wish to try,"
the antelope insisted. King Leopard nodded his head and said, "The antelope may throw the spear." With a toss of his head, the antelope flung the spear far up into the air, Before it could fall to the earth, he said 5 numbers.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have counted to 10. King Leopard did not say how the count was to be made.
The king laughed and nodded his head. No, I did not say how the count was to be made, he agreed. The antelope has won the contest. At the wedding feast, which King Leopard gave for his daughter, the animals all cheered their new and clever prince. Remember, my friends, it's not always the biggest or the strongest that wins, but sometimes the cleverest.